number 3 and number 5 we kind of highlighted, as did number 1 and number 2. But what is number 4? Okay. Pay 1/3 unimproved value of the land. What does that mean? Eey. Okay, and that kind of confuses you. It's kind of written in legalese, and if you're not familiar with real estate terminology and not a realtor, you may be like 1/3 unimproved value. Okay, what is that? Okay, but let's simplify that question on a larger scale before we answer it. Okay, of the various roles in leasehold estates, okay, what is number 4? Okay, what role is it? A landlord, a tenant, a rental agreement, or is that consideration? Okay, answer, it's consideration. Okay, because you're paying for something, right? You get the award, you're paying for something in exchange for the patent in fee simple title. Okay, and that's where that comes in, and that's why it's important. You got to pay for it. You got to pay for the equal amount or value of the land. Okay, so every number 4 is different from each parcel of land. Okay, so let's look at it this way. And again, we're looking at number 4. Here's your house. You have a huge lot right here. Okay, and so somebody, imagine Joe Maka'ainana, back in 1847, 1846, is like, oh, okay, I've been living on this piece of land, all since ancient days in this Ahupua'a, and now the Board of Commissioners to Quiet Land Titles is telling us that we can purchase this, and own it in free simple title. We can mahele our interest out from all of the ali'is and konohikis. So he decides, I'm going to do that. So he does a survey, and this is what the surveyor comes up with, right? This little box at the bottom, and the surveyor says, okay, there's a house, there's an unimproved lot. The total value is $6,000. The house lot side is worth $3,000, and the unimproved lot is worth $3,000 as well. So he's given his land commission award. Oh, mean, right? He's got his land commission award. He's got his learner's permit, right? So now, in order to finally gain fee simple title, he has to take this land commission award, and he has to pay unimproved value. But how the hell does he know what 1/3 unimproved value is? Well, if we look down at this example here, we can figure it out, right? We have the house side and we have the unimproved side. Okay, so the question is right here from Joe Maka'ainana, how much is 1/3 unimproved value on this parcel of land? Right? Okay, think about it. Bust out your calculators. You shouldn't need to. It's a pretty easy example. Okay. Answer is $1,000, right? Because you're looking at the unimproved side. And remember our definition of land and real estate and real property, right? It includes land and improvements made to the land. Improvements. Unimprovements, improvements, right? So this unimproved lot is worth $3,000. It's 1/3 of this unimproved value, or $1,000. Okay? And then so he'd pay that money, and he'd be given his fee simple title. Okay? Again, what are grants? What are royal patents? Okay, these are just deeds. Okay, we gave you the definition of deed, and you have a definition from the handout I gave you. They're just mahele ways of saying deed. They're all really the same thing. Okay, there are slight differences, but basically they're just deeds. Okay, because each one, it says a conveyance for the transfer of title. Once you see that transfer of title, conveyance of title, okay, it's a deed. Okay, conveying government-owned lands. Okay, so a patent, a land patent, royal patent grant, transfer of title to real property by deed. So it's a deed. Okay, royal patent is basically for crown lands, but for the monarchy. That's why it's called a royal patent. Okay, land patent, patent grant, land grant. They're kind of the same thing. Okay, and remember, deeds are evidence of title transfer, because you cannot physically transfer land, okay? And that's why you need a deed. That's why you need a grant, because you cannot physically transfer land, okay? other things that are movable, you can transfer around, right? So having some sort of paperwork to go along with it becomes maybe less relevant, but with land, since you can't move it, right, you need that evidence. Okay, you cannot physically transfer land. Okay, and refer to stealing land, right? And again, you can't steal land, right? That's just an absolutely erroneous assumption. Okay, you cannot steal land. You can't put dirt in your pockets and walk away. Okay, um, and which is kind of neat because, well, it just kind of enlightens us to general attitudes out there about stealing land and land theft. Okay, and it's actually good news because when people are saying they stole my land, actually they never steal your land because you cannot steal land. Okay, which actually empowers that person because now it's like, oh, really? Oh, I still own them then. How you know you own them? Because of all this stuff you just learned, right? Because now you can have a chain of paperwork. You got to go find your grant or your royal patent or your land patent, or your deed. You got to find that going all the way back. Okay, so let's review some concepts and wrap this up.